on Twitter. I don't my face. I don't do any of those things. So.
With all due respect, I mean, I hate to admit this, but I mean, I don't think I've been online in, a couple days or weeks or whatever. So, I mean, that's really not an important thing to me.
Where are you on snap face there when we were talking about that? Is that on your face or whatever?
I don't really know or care anything about social media. I don't even know what's out there or isn't out there, so that's irrelevant to me.
Hello, everyone. Surprised to see me here? Well, I am too. I tried to join Snapface, but I couldn't find it. So here I am. Hello, Instaface. See you soon.
That was Bill Belichick's debut on social media. It was a rough video to watch. It was like 4 different pieces cut together in a not very professional way, which I guess gave it even more charm. This is the guy who has feigned lack of awareness of social media forever, and I don't believe it. There's no way, if you're a football coach who prides yourself on knowing everything, that you completely shut out a very valuable and useful vehicle for finding stuff out.
Yeah.
About your players, about other players, about other coaches, about anything.
Well, I think that if I had to do an assessment there, I don't think Bill Belichick is looking at any of that.
But somebody is.
But like a Bears Nigerian who is kind of the big job there in New England, basically Belichick's assistant, right, for everything. He's the one kind of passing along the messages there when need to be, if it's something, right? Do they care about you didn't get enough likes last night or anything like that? No, but when it comes to football news or knowledge to be gained, yeah, he's figuring it out there, but he is definitely not actually scrolling or doing that. I feel pretty confident in that.
And apart from that, he is, I was going to say, dangerously close to being overexposed going into the season. He's beyond that. It's too much. He's doing too much.
Wow.
He should have been more strategic, more selective, keep it to 3 or 4 media jobs. He's doing too much. He's popping up too often, and people are going to get sick of it. And I know he wants to appeal to fan bases. He needs to appeal to fan bases. You need to have fans and media saying, we want Bill after this season, because after last season, nobody was saying, we want Bill. We did that poll on Twitter, which he's now aware of, I assume. 75%, more than 75%. The simple question, if Bill Belichick was available this offseason, do you want him to coach your favorite team? More than 75% said no. You've got to win the mob, and that's what he's trying to do. I think he's doing too much. It's going to take significance away. You want it to be appointment viewing. You want to have to go to McAfee's show on Monday to hear from Belichick. You want to have to go to the Manning cast. You can just throw a rock and hear something from Belichick now, and I don't think that's going to be good for him.
I mean, I hear you there. You get worried about the oversaturation and people getting annoyed with you all the time and seeing you and all that. But, one, I don't think he's going to go on there and be pretty plain and simple, and it's going to be football-oriented. And I do think he'll give us some nuggets as the year goes along that will open some fan base's eyes and go, ooh, that was a brilliant thought or insight by Belichick and all that. And hopefully that's where he can get a little steam and momentum here to get hired by somebody. But it is crazy that last year it's the greatest coach ever, and he's not coaching right now. It is. But there's more to it than just, the masses don't want him. It is the age, the control thing, and so many other things that are going into this.
This is a great point. We're going to deviate from what we were supposed to talk about, but we'll get back to it in a minute. Somebody pointed out to me something from his latest appearance with Pat McAfee, where he's going to be on every Monday, but he was talking about control, personnel decisions, and he made it clear it can never be one person. There's always 2 people. They have to work together. They collaborate. They agree the vast majority of the time.
Right.
It's only in very few circumstances where the person who has final say supersedes the one who doesn't. And sometimes the owner chimes in. He said that. And people who have studied Bill Belichick are like, he's sending messages with this about the future. He's trying to get people to understand he's not going to come in and be bull in a china shop and take over and tell the owner to shut the hell up and sit down. Why are you even here? Commanding and demanding that the person who has final say. Because I've said all along, okay, yeah, he's just going to coach. But if you got a GM who's 42, who grew up in awe of Bill Belichick, the GM's going to do whatever Bill Belichick wants him to do. It doesn't matter who's got final say. Bill runs the show. And I think that there's going to be little pieces of evidence like that of him trying to rehabilitate his reputation among the people who matter most.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. And I think he needs to do that. It's good he's sending out those messages clearly. And
now, if people believe it or not, it's a different thing.
Well, I will say, just speaking from my experience being there in New England, and then, of course, knowing people all those years, his working relationship with Nick Caserio is exactly what he was explaining there. It really was. He could trust Nick Caserio as a football mind evaluator, understanding how Bill built teams and what he wanted in players, to where he didn't. Bill Belichick's the smartest, greatest worker in the history of football, but he can't do everything, right? So you got to be able to at some point go like, hey, can I trust you to look at some free agent offensive linemen because we got an injury here, and you can whittle down the list for us to down 2 or 3 guys, so now they come in for a workout, and now we have a discussion between. You got to be able to lean on guys like that, and he's shown that with either Scott Pioli or Nick Caserio, he's capable of doing that and listening and being a part of those conversations. Yeah, he wants the last right of refusal, certainly, but
post Caserio, it went off the rails to a certain extent.
Well, I think that's where I think not only the fans. I was going to go there. I'm glad you brought this. Fans, people in football, anybody with common sense, that to me is the thing you question, is that, wait, Caserio left and went off the deep end a little bit. The team certainly was not very talented. We all know that and what the Patriots are right now. And then I think you couple that with it's the greatest coach ever with one of the weirdest decisions ever in the offensive coordinator thing with Matt Patricia and Joe Judge that year. That made a number of people in the NFL go, he's losing his fastball. What's he thinking? That's crazy. And that's certainly what is part of the problem and leads to people having questions about Belichick right now.
Well, one of the things Belichick has said recently meshes with something I've been saying ever since we finally got our brains around this new kickoff formation.
Yeah, right.
It's going to result in not nearly as many returns as they thought, because coaches are going to realize the strategic edge is kick it out of the end zone, give the 30-yard line.
Right.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.